Hey, in today's video, I'm going to show you guys some cards, believe it or not, and I'm going to have a VR for Dan's Vintage Baseball PC near the end. But yes, got some cards in the mail yesterday on Monday. Problem was I was pretty much gone all day. I was driving for my dealership I work for. I drove a truck to Louisville, Kentucky, and drove a truck back, and they were nice. The truck I drove back was a Silverado 2500 with the Duramax 6.2 High Country Edition, and that truck would cost $24,000 more than what my house cost when we bought. Now, I bought my house in 1982, but that truck costs $24,000 more than what my house cost. But anyway, let's move on to the pickups. I noticed I had a couple holes in my collection. For the longest time, I always was on the fence. Should I get a Steve Carlton card or cards, or should I, not do it? Because most people think of him as a Philly, and I have a Cardinal PC. But I went ahead and bought a Steve Carlton card as a Cardinal, and this was his 1971 Topps card in a 7. It's I went 7, kind of like the 62 Gibson over here, condition sensitive set. And there's the back. This is the year he won 20 games as a Cardinal. He lost 19 the year before. To that I say, you got to have something on the ball as a pitcher if they send you out there long enough for you to lose 20 games. But here's the Carlton. In his best Cardinal year, he was a 20-game winner this year. And another hole I had in my Cardinal PC is I have a card of Ken Boyer right there, the 65. Have the Oravision record of Ken Boyer right there, but no Ken Boyer autograph. So I picked up a stat back exhibit with his autograph here. He has an interesting looking K. It looks like an X, but I'm not going to let that bother me. That's Ken Boyer's autograph right there on a stat back. There are the stats on the back, which make it a stat back. And once again, Ken's autograph on the front. I'm a little leery of buying a Ken Boyer baseball. They're a little too pricey for Diamond Jim's 45 Blood, but you never know one of these days. But instead, here's a Ken Boyer autograph on an exhibit. I loved these Cardinal caps. These are the caps you can see. If it was color, you could tell that STL's in red, the bill is in red, and the crown is in blue. I love those Cardinal caps. Once again, the stats on the back. So I filled in 2 holes there in my PC. The Carlton card will go right there by the Carlton baseball. So that was the mail day yesterday, and couldn't get it to you till today. And now, as explained earlier in the video, I have a VR for Dan's Vintage Baseball PC. Don't be afraid, Dan. I'm just gonna follow what you tell me to do, and just show you a card that best describes me and my PC. Now, I'm mainly a Cardinal collector, mainly Gibson, but I do collect Musial, Lou Brock, and Curt Flood. But to best describe me and my collection, I'm going to use Stan Musial, a guy that played his entire career in flyover country, overshadowed by stars on the East Coast, and as it ended up, stars on the West Coast also. Stan had the same amount of hits at home as he did on the road, had 475 career home runs. He hit his 3,000th home run, 3,000th hit as a pinch hitter in Chicago at Wrigley Field. And he just was a guy that just kept going from 1942 to 1963. He played in 4 World Series, winning 3 of them. He won 3 MVP awards. Overshadowed by stars in the media centers on the coast. I always like to point out to people on my channel that 1947, when Jackie broke in, to 1957, when it was still the Brooklyn Dodgers and the New York Giants. The Cardinals during those years were not particularly good, and that hurt Stan as far as recognition and being at the top of everybody's list. And still, you know, you look at his contemporaries, Aaron, Mantle, Mays, you know, Ted Williams, you know, it's easily to be overshadowed, but still, Stan, like I said, Stan had a fantastic career, and you know, like 3-time MVP. Problem was, like I said, he played on some not so good Cardinal teams in the middle of the country, flyover country. When there were such superstars in the East Coast, and then baseball started out on the West Coast. But that's the guy that best describes my PC. A guy that might be a little overshadowed, might be a little underrated, but you know, can smile all the way through it. So that's Stan, the card that best describes me and my PC. So there's my VR for Dan. A couple good stories about Stan. I would always go to the big St. Louis card show that they had 2 or 3 times a year. It was at a Holiday Inn in the Bridgeton area, the northwest part of St. Louis, out by the airport. It was nationally attended. I mean, Alan Rosen, Mr. Mint was there, and it was a destination show. You would fly in if you were a big-time collector for that show. I only had to drive like 2.5 hours from where I live to attend the show. Anyway, every time I would go over there, or most every time I would go over there, I would always hear the story. Now, I don't know if it's true or not, but I would always hear the story about Stan Musial having his name and phone number in the phone book up until the mid-'80s. And I always heard the story that they finally took it out because somebody showed up, knocked on their door like at some ungodly time in the morning. I think the guy was from Canada and, you know, wanting an autograph or something. And supposedly he signed the autograph. They answered the door at some ungodly time in the morning and he signed an autograph for a guy. But I always heard that not too long after that, he took his name and phone number and all that stuff out of the phone book. But, oh, kiddies, ask your grandparents what a phone book is. Also, he was at a function in Evansville, Indiana, and up there you can see my picture and Stan's. He was there in the early 90s. And I was sitting on the front row. In fact, I would go to all these functions and sit on the front row. I'd get there early enough, get a good autograph, and like I said, sit close. So Stan starts talking, and all of a sudden he takes a harmonica out of his coat pocket and starts playing Take Me Out to the Ball Game on the harmonica. Then when he gets done, he's got the spit in the harmonica, and he anoints everybody in the front row. So me included, with the spit out of the harmonica. But yeah, it's something I'll never forget. One of my favorite functions where I saw somebody famous, and right there is a picture of me and Stan right there. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it. Continued success to Dan at Dan's Vintage Baseball PC. He's got upwards of close to 2,000 subscribers for a reason, folks. If you haven't subscribed to him, go over, check out his content, and please do. And the same for me. If you haven't subscribed to me, please leave a like. Hit the subscribe button. I'll try to do the best I can. And as I always say, so long for just a while.